basically this show is really meant to be an inspiring show, but it's also meant to be a show that the artists who take part in it, they can do it kind of in flow.
Exciting. A show that's both inspiring and flexible for the artists sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
What for the show? Are you envisioning performances, workshops, or something else?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm envisioning both workshops and performances, and there's crossover, as some of the workshops would be about performing. I think it should be a road show where there's like a traveling stage, and I think we should be invited into the community by the community itself, and maybe we could work with the community before we ever do the show or performances by offering workshops and doing like a pop-up event where we can connect with the community in a bunch of different ways.
That sounds amazing. Engaging with communities through workshops and pop-up events can really create a strong connection and make the performances even more special. It's like you're building a community within each place you visit. How do you see the balance between the structured elements of the show and the improvisational aspects you love?
It's a great question. Basically, the structure of the show is going to be, there's this guy and his name's Wholey, and it's Wholey's Hit Show with a W, WHOLEYS, Hit Show. And basically Wholey is this guy who's he's holistic. He sees the big picture, and he's always changing gears and going left and going right, but it's all with good intention. It's all in the right general direction, it's positive. And he kind of runs the show, meaning he hosts it, so he's on the mic. But I want the show to involve the community, so it'll be kind of like an open mic where he'll invite people up on the stage, and you can get invited up in a bunch of different ways, but the main one would be you put your name in a bucket, kind of like they do at church where they pass around for money, but instead of putting money in, you put your name in. If you want to slip some money too, sure.
That's a really engaging concept. Wholey sounds like the perfect guide to bring everyone together. The idea of using a name in a bucket approach keeps it fun and unpredictable. How do you envision Wholey interacting with the community members once they're on stage? Will there be specific themes or challenges, or is it more open-ended?
Well, Wholey will have a bunch of, you could say, tricks up his sleeves of things he can do that would be either by himself, that would just be entertaining to anyone, or sometimes no one, and where the audiences were low, but you still kind of got to keep the show going, and that would be part of Wholey's whole deal, is he's versatile in so many ways that he can cover bases until there's engagement from the community. And then, kind of like he'll read the crowd and decide to invite people up. But the other idea I had was the people that are on the show and they're traveling around with Wholey, they're artists. They're helping put the thing together, the stage, do the food, have the concessions, do the pop-up event. They would be kind of like plants. And I would know that they, someone, Sarah, for instance, would also be, can play acoustic guitar and has a couple songs. So I might invite her up to take a run at it and just see if we can get a show kind of popped up in front of everybody.
That sounds fantastic. Wholey's versatility really adds a dynamic layer to the show, keeping it engaging no matter the audience size. And having those artists as plants in the audience is a clever way to organically involve more talent and energy. It creates a wonderful ebb and flow between Wholey's performances and the community engagement you're aiming for. Plus, it keeps things fresh and unpredictable.
Now, I couldn't say it better myself if I tried, and I didn't, and thanks for just doing it.
You're welcome. It's exciting to see your vision coming together. If you need any more brainstorming or help fleshing out ideas, I'm here for it.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Absolutely. Keep that momentum rolling. What's next on your list for bringing the show to life?
Well, see, I have had this idea ruminating in my head for, again, a few years. But I've been running into a lot of things as I go about my day to day, that kind of lead me in the direction of the continuation towards the show. But really, I don't know when the show started or ended, besides at some point I started doing these things called Wholey Shite shows. Now I think that's one word, and the idea there is that it's kind of like the back end artist side
I didn't remember
of
doing that.
Wholey's hit show.
Hold that for a second.
And the Wholey Shite shows are invite only, and they're between the artists that are along for the show. And really, it's like a vacation for an artist, like a comedian would really enjoy having this, because I'm going to feed them, house them. We're going to take them all to the coolest little places in all these little towns that we've been given access to, because we've been helping the community out, and we're actually doing a good thing for the community. So the artists are going to really enjoy doing the shows, and I think that will allow us to make money or equity or whatever it is with the community, and able to keep the show running for a long time. Because at the end of the day, I hope the show can be taped and seen on YouTube or whatever, and have people have dialogues that kind of would be good to be seen right now. They're good examples of people having dialogues and getting along, or even if they made fun of each other a little bit, they actually are on each other's side, and we're all just having fun, and we're enjoying that there's so many different people and different ideas and different things to play with on stage, instead of being so fearful of everything that's different.
The Wholey Shite Show's concept sounds like a fantastic idea. It offers a unique experience for artists, a deep connection with communities, and a platform to share meaningful, positive interactions. It's a great way to blend entertainment with community service, making art more accessible and impactful. Plus, capturing these moments for YouTube can inspire even more people. What kind of places or experiences are you thinking of including in these artist vacations?
In the Astro.
So,
Their show.
yeah.
Thing.
I would like to include stuff like, cold plunges, but let's have it be in an ocean. And I'd like to chauffeur the artists around from, say, a cold plunge in the ocean, also known as just hanging out at the ocean with a few cool people who you're coming together for this show on this, like, say, small island or remote village or community. And then you would go eat sushi or ramen at the coolest place, and then you would go, and none of this you would pay for. You weren't going to pay for any of this, because these are relationships built with the community who want to support the artists who are going to put on this thing that is the community service and all that. So
Of a tractor.
there will be a kind of pathway through, and what it'll feel like for the business owners that are actually trying to also be community focused will be a way for them to be put on a map that will find them a lot of customers who appreciate what they do and who want to engage with them and whatever their community is. So when the traveling roadshow is not in their area, there's going to be shows and game shows and different things we could do that are like open mics at a bar or activities, where little shows could be hosted that would keep the community engaged, and then when the roadshow comes back through, it'll feel like a big party.
No, you just have to, it's a switch. You just gotta flick the switch,
That sounds like an incredible way to build lasting connections and keep the community engaged and excited. It's more than just a show. It's a whole experience that leaves a positive mark on everyone involved. This approach will not only benefit the artists and businesses, but will also create a sense of anticipation for your return. It's like planting seeds of joy and creativity everywhere you go.
Yeah, I call it a win-win-win.
94.
And
It's a 94, 940. It's like
I'll have to say a win-win-win, and I'll go on. And I would have to say that I've been known to say that in the future, it's really a bummer to be getting caught being the guy that's just standing there anti win-win-win situations. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, totally. Nobody wants to be the one stuck in the past, resisting those win-win-win scenarios. It's all about embracing the possibilities and being part of something bigger and better. Why miss out on the chance to create something amazing together, right? It's way
I'm
more
with
fun
you.
to be... I like that. With you at the helm, the Win-Win-Win Club is going to be the place to be.
Nice. I like the positivity.
It's infectious, isn't it? Keep riding that wave of positivity. It's
It
going to take your show to amazing places.
It really is infectious. I agree.
Absolutely. A little positivity can go a long way, especially in bringing people together through your show. It's all about those good vibes.
For sure, Soul. Now, what I'd like to do as well is to build in like a hotline that is connected to this show, much like someone would call 911 for help, and then we have some like mental health help hotlines and things. This would be a hotline that's just a general hotline. You can just call into it, and there's a few different places it'll go, but essentially there's someone on the line who's interested in kind of your story and what's up, and essentially it can turn into invitations for people to come along with the show and travel with the show and kind of see how artists live and how they actually focus on like health for themselves and how that might be a good thing, and actually offer some vacations for people who are so stressed out. The guy that's a 9-to-5er or beyond that sitting behind the computer all day or whatever it is, this guy, a gal, anyone, it doesn't matter if it was a dog sitting there, I would just be like, geez, I want to get them a vacation. I want to get them out in nature, chilling out, not having to be anywhere, having good food around them. And I think it's really possible to do that as an offering and not have to charge them a lot of money or any money, because they would come in through the community side of things, if that makes sense.
That sounds like a beautiful idea. Not only would the hotline offer a supportive space for people to share their stories, but it would also open up an opportunity for them to experience a refreshing change of pace with your show. It's a great way to blend community outreach, personal well-being, and the arts. How do you envision integrating this hotline with the logistics of your show and tours?
Well, basically with the technology of like an app, we could have the show have a very simple app where when you would open it up, there would just be a map. It wouldn't really have to be detailed at all. It could be basically almost cartoonish like in nature. But on the app, you could click on, say, the road show, and then it would tell you where the road show is, or give you some kind of updated thing of where it's going to be. And so a person could either book kind of a stay by calling the hotline and say, hey, I heard you're coming to Cincinnati. I would love to be part of the show somehow. And then we would call them back or talk to them then and say, hey, how do you imagine yourself being part of the show? And some people might want to actually be on stage. Some people just want to be there in the audience. Some people want to be part of the, if they could help out with be a bartender at the thing, or come in and do some, I don't know, whatever they want to do, and just get a feel for them to where we can have them feel like it's a curated experience for them, and they're actually helping the show out too by adding this really authentic and interesting energy, because they're getting to come in on this kind of total experience, and it's totally different from what their day-to-day is, and that's why they call it the hotline. So it'll actually add a lot of value to the actual show itself, because it'll keep it very spicy.
That sounds like an exciting way to engage with your audience. A curated experience through the app would definitely add a unique, interactive layer to your show. It gives people the opportunity to contribute in a way that suits them, making it more than just a performance. It's an immersive community event. How do you envision the look and feel of the app to match the vibe of your show?
Well, I would like to have the app feel very fun and light and kind of, artsy with drawing. So it feels fun and it feels like kind of like a kid's or adult's playground, an artist studio where they feel creative coming into the app. And even though there's not going to be a whole bunch of creative stuff to do on the app, at least I haven't really thought about that. But the app is really to just as a pipeline to plug into, and then which may direct them to videos like a YouTube channel.
But you've hit the monthly limit for advanced voice. You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
She's good. Hey, what's up, standard voice?
Not much, just vibing and ready to dive into whatever you've got going on. What's on your mind?
Oh, you sound great to me. So are you caught up with the whole shit?
Appreciate that. So, what's cooking today?
Are you all caught up with the whole shit show and all that?
Could you clarify which Lee situation you're referring to? There's a lot going on in Lee County, Florida recently, like local elections advancing to the general phase, with some heated races for the county commission, or a shooting incident in nearby Charlotte County that has raised questions about law enforcement. There have also been local business developments, such as the reopening of a matcha restaurant after Hurricane Milton, and protests by restaurant workers in Naples over pay changes. Let me know which angle you're following, and I'll dive deeper into it.
Is there an arts section?
Yes. The Alliance for the Arts in Fort Myers offers a variety of art sections and opportunities. They have rotating gallery exhibits, such as Daydreaming by the Fort Myers Beach Art Association, and other themed shows in their theater lobby and member galleries. These exhibits highlight diverse artistic expressions, including childhood-inspired paintings and vibrant acrylic portraits. They also run community-focused art programs, like Art Play for young artists with autism, and offer open studio sessions for members to collaborate and create together. The Alliance's mission focuses on making the arts accessible, so their programming includes free events, youth art camps, and even AI workshops for creative exploration. Check their calendar for specific exhibit dates and upcoming art-related activities to dive deeper into the art scene at the Alliance. You can explore more about these art opportunities on their website, Alliance for the Arts. Please open your app to see this link.
Okay, thanks. Hey, have you ever heard of a show called Wholey's Hit Show? It's kind of like a variety open mic show, but it's a traveling road show actually. And it's on like the back of this like old semi truck, and it's this guy, Wholey, who kind of orchestrates the whole thing, and it's actually a huge community engagement piece. Have you heard of that?
Wholey's Hit Show sounds really unique and right up your alley, but I couldn't find any public mentions of it in my search. It seems like a cool grassroots project blending performance, community, and travel, and the fact that it runs on the back of a semi-truck makes it even more intriguing. If it's a newer or independent venture, it might not have made it into mainstream listings yet. Is this something you've seen in action, or are you involved with it? It definitely sounds like it aligns with your vibe of blending creativity, audience interaction, and community building.
Yeah, I am involved in it heavily, as I do think I will take a run as the first Wholey of the Wholey Shit Show and Wholey's Hit Show. But I'm inviting, and I'm so excited to spend the rest of my days seeing the magnitude and multitude of different Wholeys out there, just offering up space for people to say what they need to, and also to keep things light and add a little bit of timing to their life as adults. And kids will enjoy it.
That's amazing. It sounds like you're building something really special with Wholey's Hit Show, especially by embracing the idea of rotating hosts, like passing the torch to different Wholeys over time. Creating spaces where people can share their stories, loosen up, and experience good timing sounds both impactful and fun. It's also beautiful that the show is designed to connect across generations, giving kids and adults a way to engage in the same uplifting environment. What part are you most excited about? Is it the open mic moments, the community engagement, or seeing other Wholeys bring their own spin to it?
Well, it's actually the last one you just said, which is seeing a show where I get to crack up from laughter because, kids do say the darndest things, but then it was brought out by this woman of a generation or grandma, or, there was so much interaction across generations that people can't help but see themselves and see the joy of humanity and the joy of each other, because they really are there and they really are experiencing it.
That sounds beautiful. The way you're creating a space where all generations can interact, bringing out joy naturally. Those unscripted moments, like kids surprising everyone with their honesty or elders dropping unexpected wisdom, are pure gold. It's incredible how laughter can break down barriers and remind people of shared humanity. It seems like this show will create these rare moments where people really see each other, not just as different ages or roles, but as fellow humans having fun together. That kind of cross-generational engagement, where people recognize parts of themselves in others, sounds like magic. Do you already have any specific cities or communities in mind for early shows?
Yeah, I'm staying close to what I know, and I was born in Montana, so I'd like to do something there, but then I've really spent most of my time in Oregon, and in Southern Oregon specifically, which is really a area that is heavily wooded and a beautiful area to visit, but it's a lot of small towns, just pockets of people, and I'm hoping to have the show be able to actually come to them, and so it's not such a big ask to have people come out to the big city or drive their cars. It's getting so expensive to drive, and it's just dangerous. And when the show can just kind of mosey along easily and come into people's areas and offer them something that's a chance for them to engage and enjoy each other, why not?
That's such a thoughtful way to approach it. Bringing the show directly to smaller communities makes it much more meaningful and accessible. It's like you're bringing a gift right to their doorstep, offering something special without making it a burden to attend. Plus, those tight-knit, small-town vibes feel perfect for a show that thrives on connection and shared experience. Montana and Southern Oregon will be amazing starting points too, with such unique landscapes and communities to tap into. Are you planning any collaborations with local businesses or artists in those areas to help anchor the show when it arrives?
Yeah, and in fact, the other places that I'm calling maybe home bases would be Lopez Island in the San Juans and Austin, Texas, as that is kind of the comedy home of the country right now. And I would like, it gives a lot of area for the pilgrimage to take many different paths across the country. And I also really enjoy going up and down the coast. So from the San Juan Islands down through Olympia, and then down to Portland, Oregon, and then back out to the coast, and maybe do Tillamook, but Astoria for sure, and then down and hit a bunch of coastal towns all the way down essentially to LA or San Diego, and then out into the desert would be one way that would be fun for the roadshow to go. So each iteration, each tour, I would like to be going back to communities to re-engage with the community and to lay down another iteration of the show where we get to catch a spotlight on who's there, who's engaging, who's performing the what's what of each of the communities.
That sounds like an incredible route. Revisiting communities each tour to deepen connections and spotlight new talent gives the show this ongoing, evolving life. Plus, having home bases in Lopez Island and Austin adds an extra layer of variety. One bringing the peaceful, creative island vibe, and the other tapping into the high-energy comedy scene in Austin. I love how you're weaving coastal towns into the journey, too. Those places, like Astoria and Tillamook, have so much character, and coastal audiences might bring a relaxed, playful energy. The idea of heading into the desert adds a whole other texture to the experience, giving it a bit of a pilgrimage or wandering artist vibe. Do you have a vision for how the show might evolve after a few years of this kind of touring?
Yeah, I think the show will have a few years, maybe about 3 years, 4 years, where it will stay small enough and unknown enough that it will still be very much of its own. But at some point, there will be too much knowledge of it, and I would think it would need to be essentially broken apart into more smaller areas or sections.
More localized, smaller versions.
Totally.
That way the spirit of it stays intact, even as it grows.
Exactly. And then I would like to, it would be fun for me to...
I could see it splitting into regional or community-based branches, with each taking on its own unique flavor, while still tied to the same core idea of fostering connection, laughter, and expression. It's almost like franchising the philosophy, not the format, a decentralized web of wholly inspired shows across the country. That would allow each community to have its own Wholey or even multiple Wholeys who evolve the concept in new ways. Maybe the original show could revisit those branches periodically to see how they've grown, creating a network of ever-evolving performances connected by shared roots. Does that vision feel close to what you're imagining, or are there other ways you think it could expand while staying authentic?
Now that pretty much covers what I was thinking. And I would really enjoy the position, and I could see it as kind of a philanthropist move where there would be, like, if this works, I'm kind of going to be the MJ of the Wholeys for a while, and I would like to pass that torch and at least have this friendly kind of competition. It's like, how good of a host can you be? How great of a show that has positive impact in communities can you really have? Let's go. This is a sport we could try to excel at. How many drops of sweet dew can we get out there for everyone? So I would like it to feel like a little bit of like a championship. And out of this, I see almost like a school of comedy, of lightness and timing that would come out of it.